What's up, YouTube? So today on the Stephen A. Smith show, he claps back at Dereck Carr for the things that he said about Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman on First Take. So apparently he called both of them two clowns because he's mad about the criticisms that Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman were saying about Dereck Carr's play, his heart, his will to win, if he really wants to be there, everything that goes along with that. So he got mad about that. So Stephen A. Smith on his show right now is going to comment about that and get back at Dereck Carr. So let's see what he has to say about that.
With these players, you got the Washington Post, Chicago Tribune, other outlets, social media pages, talking about Stephen A. getting into it with athletes. You know what? You know what pisses me off about that? Folks act like I'm instigating it and I'm intentional. I'm doing my job. Mike Wilbon and Tony Kornheiser do PTI every day. Incredibly.
Stephen A. is completely right. He's doing his job. He is a reporter, a sports reporter. What is he supposed to do? Just not say anything if he sees it? He's like a cop. If he sees it, he's going to have to report it. He's going to have to talk about it. If you throw 5 touchdowns a game, he's going to report it. If you get a 100-yard run, he's going to report it. On the other hand, if you throw 3 picks, he's going to report it. If you fumble 3 times, he's going to report it. If you lose the game, he's going to report it. If it looks like you don't really care, you don't really want to be there, your heart's not really in it, you're pouting, he's going to have to say something about it. So you can't have your cake and eat it too. I know I said it in another video, but you can't have your cake and eat it too. He's just doing his job.
Successful show. The standard for this network. Folks on Around the Horn do it every day. High Noon does it every day. Radio shows like Golick and Wingo do it every day. Everybody got their own style, no doubt. But don't tell me, as unique as I know I am, that I'm saying something so foreign to everybody else. Ladies and gentlemen, I give speeches several times a year. And I always use this line when I give them. I'm brilliant because I know I'm not. I learn from those who are and espouse the knowledge they've blessed me with. That is what I do. You think that I had an opinion about Dereck Carr just because I was watching him? I read. I watch videos. I watch tapes. And then I talk to those who are experts at breaking it down. That's why I've been a journalist for 25 years. Now I understand that Dereck Carr's real problem was with what Max Kellerman had to say about him. But that ain't what he said on Twitter. He said 2 clowns. He questioned qualifications. Let me teach you something, Dereck Carr, about qualifications. I have more than you have. You have qualifications to play football. I have qualifications to talk about it. That's the qualifications I built through years and years of journalism. And you want to know how you ain't qualified? Talk about your teammates. Talk about the profession. Talk about your contemporaries in the profession. You won't do it. Why? Because you're a football player. And there's a code and a culture that comes with it. You can't espouse truth. Talk about you love truth. What truth have you told about the Oakland Raiders? What truth have you given us? Huh? What is it? By the way, the Stephen A. Smith Show on ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. The power to save is in your hands. Snapshot from Progressive rewards your safe driving with discounts. Find out more at progressive.com. And the reason why I bring up a subject like that is because I'm going to get on you, public, the listeners, the viewers. I'm going to get on y'all because this is the kind of culture you created. You made a bunch of wusses out of professional athletes. Everybody's about their brand. You can't speak the truth. I mean, cats hold stuff against me. I sit up there and go like this. Damn, he had a bad day. He was absolutely god-awful. He shot 2 for 20 from the field. They mad years later. Even though they've admitted I was awful that night. Oh, but Stephen A.
So I don't quite agree with Stephen A. on that aspect of his reporting and what athletes do. So no matter what, nobody likes to be talked about in a negative light. Nobody wants to be talked about when they mess up. Nobody wants light shown on something bad that they've done. So of course somebody's going to get mad, and they see Stephen A. like, hey man, I don't like you talking about. Of course that's part of the game. And just like I said before, he's going to report the good things and the bad things. So don't get mad when he says something bad about you, when he's praised you, said a lot of good things about you. Especially like he said, 10 years later? I mean, come on. You got to have tough skin. That $30 million should make up for, you feeling bad about being criticized. You could be working a 9 to 5 at McDonald's or Burger King or wherever.
It's the way you say it. You know how many guys I've said that to me? It's the way you say that. You know what my response to them is? Yo, can I get paid? Can I get paid? Me talking the way that I talk naturally, not faking the funk, being as real and as authentic as I can possibly be. No shade, no nothing. Gonna give it to you straight filter, no matter what. That has evidently worked for me. It might not work for somebody else, but it's worked for me. Can I get paid? Can I earn a living? Can I do my job? You got cats here in social media and beyond. They want to make money by showing up to the party at the 11th hour and 59th minute, acting like they doing something and they deserve what I got. They didn't work in Archdale, North Carolina, living off tuna fish and Kool-Aid, working for free covering high school sports from 7 to midnight. They didn't do multiple internships. They didn't accumulate over 500 published clips before they ever had a job. They didn't start off as a high school reporter and became a backup college writer, to a college writer, to a backup NBA writer, to an NBA writer, to a general sports columnist on the NBA, to a general sports columnist, to a television commentator, to a television host, to a radio commentator, to a radio host. Where the hell were they when I was doing all of this?
Damn. So, yeah, Stephen A. just broke it down. I didn't know it was that deep. So apparently Derek Carr flipped the script, and now Stephen A. Smith is butthurt over somebody talking about him. So he had to throw out his whole resume. Like, he shouldn't have to prove anything to anybody. I don't got to explain. He doesn't got to explain himself or his actions when his job is due exactly what he did to report. I understand what he's saying, and that's pretty deep. I'm happy for Stephen A. He really put in the work, and he put it down. That's why he has multiple shows. But, damn.
See, we want to talk. We want to talk like, because you played. Nobody else has the license to say anything about you. Did you say that to Howard Cosell? Did you say that to Bob Costas? Did you say that to Brent Musburger? Did you say that to Brian Gumble? Did you say that to Jimmy the Greek? Did you say that to Irv Cross? Did you say it to Mike Tirico? Did you say it to a host of people who never played, but established a standard upon which all of us stand in this day and age? If it wasn't for those people talking about sports and helping to build it in the mind's eye of the American public, and allowing the sport to grow so exponentially. Derek Carr, you getting $25 million a year? Ask Terry Bradshaw how much money he made. Ask Troy Aikman how much money he made. Ask Roger Staubach how much money he made. Ask him. Ask Joe Montana. Ask Steve Young. You made money that you make right now on the backs of those people who paved the way. How could it have happened if the sport didn't grow in popularity? And how does the sport grow in popularity if nobody's talking about it and talking about the athletes that perform?
So I don't quite agree with Stephen A. on that. I would say the sports reporters need the football players and athletes more than the athletes need the sports reporters, because the sports reporters are there because of the athletes. The athletes would be there regardless. People will still show up to the games. People will still be fans. They may not be able to hear it as much because there's no reporting on it, but people will still go to the games and they were still talking amongst each other. So I don't quite like Stephen A. trying to say like, oh, well, you need the sports reporters and, without us, you'd be nothing. All parts are needed. The sports reporters, the fans, the players, everything's needed. So nobody's really better than anybody else. But for the most part, the athletes, the reporters are there to see the athletes. So I can understand where Dereck Carr is coming from.
In those respective sports. Dereck Carr, you need to check yourself. And why do I sound so annoyed? I'm going to be very, very clear about why I sound so annoyed. He brought up his kids. That's why. So you can call folks clowns and threaten to fight them when they have children. But we're supposed to be worried about what we say about you because you have kids. When you're performing in front of millions and ain't getting the job done. As I said before, people writing about me getting into it with athletes. All I'm doing is my job. I was doing my job with Kevin Durant. I was doing my job with John Wall. I'm doing my job with Dereck Carr. I didn't get personal. Can you say the same? Grown man, father of a few kids, without question, probably a lovely father, by the way, and a lovely family man. Just wondering.